I actually got involved with the PADC when I was at uni. I was studying graphic design, and they did a student discount, and we all went along, learnt some amazing things, and met all the people most likely to hire us in the industry. It was fantastic.
Like everybody that I was inspired by locally was part of the PADC and had always been part of the PADC, so I followed suit really to get as close to those guys as possible and benefit from their knowledge and experience.
I was a student and I really didn't know how I was going to go about getting a job. I got involved with the PADC to have an industry side involvement.
When I was in uni, the teachers encouraged us to join the PADC so you can meet other people in industry and get your foot in the door, and it was actually at a PADC commu meeting that I met James Wills and managed to get my job here.
It's how you get noticed by your peers in the industry, and pretty much the stepping stone for your career as a creative.
Who doesn't love a beautiful word hanging on your wall? So that was my initial reason. But what I realized when I joined the group and realized the variety of people that were there and how unique every individual was and how genuinely supportive they were of one another.
I probably joined the PADC a long time ago when I was first in a big agency. And I think then it was more about being part of the network, part of the industry, making sure you knew everybody.
The PADC is incredibly important because it brings everybody in advertising together, and it's also a great way for us to, see what other people are doing, get inspiration from others, and go to heaps of fun events.
For up-and-coming art directors, writers and students coming into the industry, it's a great starting place for them.
With the PADCs, we're able to get together and actually discuss important issues and try to make working in Perth a lot easier.
Now it's more important because I'm on my own. I have my own agency, or a smaller agency, and I just think it's about still keeping in touch, but there's not the mechanism of a big agency to keep in touch with, so it becomes more important to do it as a solo operator.
So much of the industry is about competing with each other. There's so many pitches against other agencies, but what the PADC does really well is it brings everyone together.
We're so isolated from the rest of Australia. We really need a club like this.
Particularly in this industry and particularly in this location, it's really important to have a local club.
In advertising, the older you get, I think it's a real risk that you look at yourself and think that you're really good and that you can't learn things from younger people. I think the reverse has to be true. And for that reason, I think it's absolutely critical that the older members of this industry support and nurture the young people that are coming through.
The whole point of it is to support students that want to be passionate and want to be the future of our industry.
The more interaction that the club can facilitate between experienced members of the industry and the emerging members of our industry, the stronger our industry can be.
Students are critical. They are the future of the industry.
Part of the PADC's role has historically always been creating a connection with students in the industry so that it's more comfortable when they're meeting people and finding contacts and getting a pathway through.
Nurturing should be an essential ethos of the club.
Students are incredibly important, but I think that the club is more important for students because it's a really great way to meet people who are actually working in industry, and it was very helpful to me when I was a student.
I think the last couple of years in particular have been a very exciting chapter for the club. I think that's in no small part to the stewardship of James and Mark and Danielle. I think with those guys on board, we've seen just a real injection of enthusiasm.
I felt a change in the club. I think it's starting to bring back its vibrancy. I really love the way the committee looks, feels. I like the way things are being sent out. It's very bright and enthusiastic and very exciting.
It would be great to have more interaction with more people from working in the eastern states, because as one of the junior creatives in Perth, there aren't a huge amount of us, and it's just so interesting and so inspiring to talk to other junior creatives from over east.
The award show is really starting to become something pretty special, and as long as the committee has the right judges, then it will continue to raise the creative standards in the city.
I think what the club's done in the last couple of years especially has been amazing to see those changes between the simpler award shows, to see the support that's been given to the younger individuals.
We lived in ignorance and we learnt through experience, and that remains my passion in this industry. The more experiences that we can share, the less the ignorance.
There is such an enthusiasm now with the new committee and all the fresh faces. I think they're going to do wonderful things, and I look forward to seeing the next evolution of the club.